I'm Roy Lee Lindsay with the North Carolina Pork Council, and I want everyone to remember, bacon makes everything better.
Hey folks, David Glenn of the North Carolina Sports Network coming at you from the 2024 ACC Kickoff event in Charlotte. Our coverage, as always, brought to you by our friends at the North Carolina Pork Council. Our next guest is one of the best running backs in the entire nation. He got a bunch of first-team All-American honors, second-team All-American honors, of course, All-ACC. He had 1,504 rushing yards for the Tar Heels last year, the second most by a UNC player in a single season in the history of that program. He's from Clayton, North Carolina, and Cleveland High School. He's now a junior with the Tar Heels. Omarion Hampton, welcome to the David Glenn Show. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. One thing I didn't mention, you had more yards after contact, 1,072, than any player in the entire country. How do you specialize in making sure that you get yards after contact, or yak as you guys call it?
Yeah, just working on it on the off season, doing different balance drills, getting with different trainers, really talking to different running backs, seeing what they do. So I feel like just staying on it consistently, really.
There's a legend that when you were at Cleveland High School, you squatted so many pounds that they had to stop adding weight because the bar started to bend. Is that urban legend or is that real? And what kind of weight are we talking about back when you were in high school?
It was sophomore year. I did 560, and then after I did 560, he had me stop going up after that, and then
did the bar bend?
Yeah, he's at the bar bent.
So what would that same number be now? Like at some point, are you trying not to max out your squat anymore?
Yeah, we're not maxing out a squat, but we're definitely doing like big weight. So I feel like if I try to max out, I feel like it'd be crazy.
I think it was Max Johnson earlier who called you Hammer. But that's not a new nickname, right? They've called you Hammerhead, Hammer. Like, what's the go-to nickname? And I think it mainly started last year, right? Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, in high school?
Yeah, no, it started in college, but yeah, I think a coach called me that one time, and they just went along with it. Yeah. Do
they call you that when they see you, Hammer, or is it just when they're talking about you as a great running back?
They call me that when they see me.
They do.
Well,
Hammer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Hammerhead.
No, not really. Yeah.
All right, Omarion Hampton is joining us here on the David Glenn Show. You were one of the finalists for the University of North Carolina Male Athlete of the Year. And it ended up going to R.J. Davis, of course, of your men's basketball team. Do you guys know each other? Like, was it cool that you were like the runner-up to R.J. Davis? I don't know how often football stars and basketball stars get to hang out with each other.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely cool to see him since he's from Carolina. I know we have a lot of different connections and everything like that. So, yeah, I was super excited to see him win that award.
And you weren't too disappointed that it wasn't you?
No, sir. I grew up, like, watching him and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah.
During spring practice, how did this year's offensive line look compared to last year's offensive line? And were there any new guys who really stood out to you as blockers in front of you?
Yeah, I feel like this is the best O-line I've been a part of. I feel like O-line is definitely going to be very good this season. I feel like we have Austin from Georgia. He's a transfer. We have Howard. He's like 6'8". He's a transfer. And then we have Willie Leak. They've been here for a while. So, I mean, I feel super good about it.
Coach Brown told us that there were schools that somehow communicated to you or your family that you could have gotten a lot of name, image, likeness money somewhere else. Now, I know you got some from Carolina. Just tell us how that whole thing went. You never entered the transfer portal or anything, so people aren't supposed to contact you, I don't think. But also tell us, has the name, image, likeness money impacted your life in important ways, or allowed you to take care of yourself or take care of family members in ways that you couldn't before?
Yeah, I try not to look into that part, but yeah, it's definitely helped me take care of my family a little bit, give back to the community a little bit. But my main goal right now is to focus on the next season, so I really don't get into that part. Just try to put it in savings as much as I can. So yeah.
What NFL running backs did you watch, either as a younger guy or even right now during your time at Carolina, where you watch him play and you say, that's the kind of running back that I want to be?
Really growing up, I was a big Marshawn Lynch fan, and then just watching like Derrick Henry, all those guys just playing the league, and then I know Michael Carter and Javonte Williams was at UNC. I really watched them growing up, just looking at them, asking them like different tips I can learn off them. So yeah.
If something popped into your head from the 2023 season, would it be more likely to be one of your best plays, like popping into your head during a dream or as you're walking around? Or do you have like nightmares about your worst play, like missing a block or fumbling the ball or whatever? Which pops into your head more often?
Nah, definitely my worst plays.
They do.
Definitely my worst plays.
So is that like, so give me an example. From last year, what would be a play that just pops into your head and you just go like, oh no?
I don't want to speak on it.
You know what's?
It's not gonna happen.
I can only think of two. I can only think of two bad plays you made the whole year, but we won't ask you about that. Growing up in Clayton, I know there are a lot of Wolfpack fans in that part of our state.
Yeah.
You can't lose 3 straight to the Wolfpack, right? Like, what do you say back if a Wolfpack person that you know gives you a hard time about 2 straight? You've been here 3 years now, at Carolina, and your teams are 0-2 against the Pack. So what's your comeback? Or do you have to wait until you win one?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's 2 talented teams. You just got to kind of just wait until we play. And then because we really can't say nothing until we play.
In sports, we talk a lot about impact players who make a positive difference. When it comes to our state's economy, the North Carolina pork industry is a true MVP. Each year, the pork industry plays an important role in supporting rural communities across our state. It contributes more than $10 billion a year to the North Carolina economy and supports more than 44,000 jobs. Learn more about their positive impact at ncpork.org. The North Carolina Pork Council, the foundational partner of the North Carolina Sports Network. College Football 25 video game is out.
Yeah.
You can't possibly be mad about your rating, right? It's like one of the highest in the entire country. Tell us how you feel about that number, and you can share it if you know the number. But also, did they get your look right? And did they treat the Tar Heels fair in the game, best you can tell?
Yeah, I feel like I was satisfied with my rating, 93, but the appearance I wasn't so sure about. The appearance I wasn't so sure about.
Did they mess up like your hair or something else, or just your size, your weight, your height, or what?
The face features, but I mean it's cool.
You're not worried about it?
No, I enjoy the game.
Our guest is Omarion Hampton of the North Carolina Tar Heels. It's often said that your position, running back, you only have so many years in your body. You know you're on the NFL radar. A lot of people assume that your junior year will be your last year in Chapel Hill. How are you looking at that picture?
Really just as a growing experience, just trying to get show what I can do in the backfield, use me more in like the pass game, using me more in like blocking, and like more towards like Kishman Caffrey playing style, because I feel like that's what the league is more going to. So if I show them I can do that, I feel like it will help me in the long run.
What would you tell Carolina football fans at this stage about the candidates? Two guys are here with you in Charlotte to be the starting quarterback next to you in the backfield this year. What's your breakdown, your scouting report of those guys?
I feel like they're all talented. It's going to be – they're always competing. They're always hitting up the receivers, talking about like just trying to get work in, trying to throw, trying to do different things. So I feel like whoever's going to be, they're going to be super talented.
Last thing for you, when we were upstairs in the ballroom earlier today, from the podium, Cayman Rucker, one of your teammates, says to Coach Brown, "I love you, man." And Coach Brown says back, "I love you, man." So tell us, as we let you go, what does Coach Brown mean to you, both as just a human being, but also as a football player, obviously?
I mean, he means a lot to us, because, I mean, anything we know, anything we want, and like anything like that we need help with, if we ask him to get something in the facility, he gets it like that, and he's like always on it. So I feel like I respect him a lot for that, and I feel like he's been a big part of my life.
Omarion Hampton of the University of North Carolina. Very cool 28. Hope you get that in the screen. Thanks for joining us on the David Glenn Show.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You got it.